the phrase, okay? That's the whole phrase for the verse. Now, when you speed it up a little bit and you add some more stuff in there, it definitely sounds more interesting. And that's what playing accented eighth notes do to it, and that's what playing the ghost notes do. It fills in some of the space to make the groove less choppy and more based off of feel. So something to keep in mind as I go through this is, you'll notice I use a lot of swung sort of almost molar accented eighth notes when I play these parts. And that's because you want to get different textures when you play a song. There's an idea called mixing yourself. And when you play different dynamics within one piece, as long as everything falls under the loudest dynamic, then you can mix yourself really well just by using simple things like accenting an eighth note differently, which is just simply harder, soft, harder, soft. We all can learn that. But anyway, pay attention to it now when I add that piece into it, and then I'll add in the ghost notes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. By filling in that space, it really sort of helps tie together the way it feels, so you can almost play a little bit more back in the pocket, and instead of having to think about being right on the beat all the time, it kind of helps you get there. The ghost notes fill in all those other open spaces. When you count that groove based on where the snare drum is, it's counted as a 32nd note. So I'm counting that as 1 and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 4 E and a. So the ghost notes help to fill in all those 32nd notes that are there, okay? And check it out, what it sounds like this. And if you were to simply write that out, the goal would be to just fill in any of those open spaces between the actual kick patterns and the snare patterns and the eighth notes being played on the stack, and you would just fill in little notes there. And you could play it on the floor tom. Accent the floor tom and then put the kicks around it to be the ghost. So anyway, there's just all these different accents you can use and things you can try. But that's the most literal way this groove is played in the song. Okay? So we take it back a step now to the beginning of the song, and then this is the part that's played. Now let's make this bare bones. So. Okay. What I'm doing there is actually the same exact rhythm of that riff. And if you were to break down that riff to just basic rhythm without accents, this is what it would be. Let me actually keep time. Okay? You can accent any different part of that. And what we're doing with that first part is basically this. Okay? So then all you do then is start to add in more pieces to make that rhythm happen. You realize that you want to accent basically on the downbeats of that riff rather than on a backbeat that gets played throughout it. So what you can do is, instead of playing this with just your hands, keep that same accent, but then try to do the other rhythms around that beat with just your feet. so you get that understanding down of really it's the same exact rhythm that we did without any accents, and then we added that one accent to each part of it, and now we're playing the other notes that surround the accents with our kick. Next thing to do, which makes it way easier, is to actually put a pulse on top of it, because without that pulse, it almost seems really jolty the way I just played it, you know what I mean? It's not as easy to follow along with. But the pulse really helps that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes it a lot more easy to understand where that pulse is, right? So then, to make it swing and have that same feel, we add in the 8th note feel, and we accent it. So now, it goes like this. And then the fun part is then filling in some of those other spaces with the ghost notes to really fill out the space. So. And it just really thickens up the part. Okay, so that's the second way in the song that we can play that same exact guitar riff. All right, so we got two ways now. The first way. And then the second way. Now there's a third approach that we do in this song with this same riff. So remember, get all those weird accents. So now we're going to straighten it out, and instead of playing something that actually fully matches the groove and matches the guitar riff exactly, we're still going to have the 30-second notes that support it going on, but that's what we're playing now. We're focusing on playing the 30-second notes and accenting different parts of those 30-second notes to really support the groove. And it's still going to be a 30-second note backbeat that's being played, but instead of playing something that has an actual pulse, it's being played as a linear pattern. And who here knows what linear drumming is? Okay, cool. For those that don't, linear drumming just basically means, in the most simplest form, there's one thing being hit at a time. So a single stroke roll is a linear fill. This is a really famous linear groove. Okay? It's one thing hitting at a time, but you still have everything there. So this is how the part is played the next time.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Sorry, this came out. Give me 1 second. So here's the lesson for playing a live show. If you knock out something like this tightening rod here, tightening wing, just play with it closed and then put it on when you're done, like this. It's good wisdom. So that part in my mind is just seriously based off of hearing. But within that, accenting the little pieces of that riff that go along with it. So you hear how you can hear little pieces around it? Okay? So really, it'd be the same thing as playing this. Okay? Does that make sense? And then to make it linear, if I was just going to play this on, let's say, just